Good morning, everyone. Welcome to MaryAnne's Mystic Mentions. I'm MaryAnne. Thank you for tuning in. Welcome to March 18th, 2021. Short little story. I'm going to be reading, of course, for the Sun Sign Love Connections for today. If you are new, welcome to my channel. I love having you stop in, pop in, and hopefully things will resonate and make sense and you'll learn some things. I'm a long-time tarot reader and enthusiast in regards to astrology and the compatibility between different signs. I've been studying for so long and it's so uncanny and so right on at times that I just continue to want to learn and share that with my viewers. So what happened is, I hope you had a beautiful St. Patrick's Day. If you celebrate that. I am, like I was saying yesterday, I have not one cell of Irish in me as far as I know. I've never done an actual DNA. But my sons are Irish because of their dad. So I feel like in a way I am kind of Irish, and I always have celebrated it. I was all in green. I did actually 2 videos for you. And for you, I'm speaking specifically of the featured sign for today. As I go around my zodiac wheel, I have a kind of a format. I'll pick the one sun sign, which is the featured, and today is Gemini, as it was yesterday. Because with 2 attempts that I thought went wonderfully, my camera it was shutting off and I didn't even know it. I don't have a really fancy camera other than to say, I mean, it's a great camera for me, but I can't tell when it's not working. And it kept saying it was too full, the storage. You know, I've been through this before, for those that have followed me for any length of time, and thank you for that. I really love your support. It doesn't matter how many, really, but when I get a comment or somebody that, is feeling a resonance or feeling connected to me or this channel, I really, really love it. So thank you for that. But anyway, I'm going to stick with the same highlighted connection for you, Gemini. And it was yesterday, as I said, but it still matters because it's irrelevant with spirit. Whenever you watch it is good. I just don't want you to think I forgot about you. And it was with Virgo. Your highlighted connection, Geminis, for today are Virgo, which means I read the 3 major categories of messages that come through for that particular connection of all types of love. Doesn't matter, right? You have many relationships, I'm sure. You feel a sense of love in some regard. And so it's not always just romantic. And I will read you what those said. And I even want to go on to just continue with the oracle messages, but something tells me today I will change the oracle messages. That's the undivided, completely authentic guidance we get from spirit, from our higher selves, communicating and connecting and co-creating at all times. It's about the wisdom that's there for all of us to know. And these are particularly beautiful messages that I find, and certainly found, really were very in line and very synchronistic with your reading. However, what was interesting, and I'll just share this, basically every single card had a predominance of green, and it was St. Patrick's Day, right? So I thought that was really cool. I'll show you, but I am going to use new ones for these. It's a darker green, but it's the chess queen, and this was the beautiful card that's called Seek. And then the last one with the, I'll go over them again, was feeling good, right? And knowing you can trust those thoughts regardless, or getting away from the thoughts and just allowing, basically. But we'll get some new ones for those for you today, because that can be spontaneous as far as I'm concerned. The connection one, I think, is important, and I feel like Spirit is telling me to continue with that message. So let's talk about that. We have the beautiful sign of Gemini, who is an air element. And you know what, right now, it's interesting because I was saying at the beginning when I was starting with Aries, as I do, I start at the beginning of the month and the mid-months, Aries, ending with Pisces, and then, the highlighted is random. I just picked that right in front. Spirit just lets me know right then. So it may be very appropriate for a lot of you, and some of you will be saying, nope, well, hang tight or fast forward for the messages with the oracles, because that's for every single Gemini today, and every single one of your connections. Someone, somewhere, somehow has a message through these readings. And that's always been my intention. So, okay, so we'll start with the fact that we're reading for Gemini as the featured. And once again, you are an air sign. You are about the mind. You work and live and create in the way that has to do with your mind. It's about your thoughts. It's a masculine energy. It's about, the connection between the world, yourself, your way of speaking, communicating, and your mind, all right? For an example, the cups are water. They live their life, they express themselves in the way of their heart, and their emotions. Fire is the momentum and the spirit behind things, and the motion and the action and the drive, right? The fiery, ambitious. And then ground, of course, is the element of earth, and it's about the practical things that we touch, feel, that we can see, and a lot of times I find earth signs just, they want to see it to believe it, as opposed to maybe air or water that want to believe it and then they see it. You know where I'm going with that? It's true, it makes a big difference. But so you have the earth element with you, Gemini. And I would say that out of the two elements combined together, these are extremely different on many levels. And yet this particular one, the Virgo and the Gemini, I see on a regular basis. I have several couple friends of mine that have been married, and they were long term. Through their differences, through their opposition, because it actually works really well. You know, I always say, the one partner that has this particular personality trait that the other doesn't kind of helps to fill that, not a void, but the part of the other person that hasn't really seen things in that perspective, or maybe hadn't looked at it in that way, or, you know, chose to open their hearts or minds to the difference. And then they do, and they're like, wow, this is really cool, because I wouldn't have thought of that without you. And yeah, I don't always agree with everything, but I kind of like this new way of allowing and just kind of living and thriving from the differences. So I hope that makes sense. What I did was, yeah, I have the three categories here, but just a little more about Gemini. So we actually have the moon going from Taurus, which is of course an earth element, which goes really well with you, Virgo. And it's a very complementary, you're both earth elements. Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. And it's really just, once again, it's this grounding kind of feeling that all of us have been able to feel in the last couple days, because at the end of today, like around 7:45 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, it goes into your sign, Gemini. So it goes from a very grounded, calming, sensible, reliable, accountable, you know, kind of routine energy, very practical, down to, you know, everything. It has a place and it makes sense, and it's not, you know, too erratic, and it's not too changeable. But then you have the Gemini energy, and it's just the opposite. It's incredibly changeable. It's incredibly versatile. It has so many things going on at once. It's mind, right, versus Earth, and it's up in the air a lot of times. It's like, oh, what about that idea? What about this idea? What about, you know, the energy is kind of unbelievable at times to keep up with when you're dealing with the Gemini. Which is another reason why I love this combination of the air and the earth, because that earth sign kind of just brings you down to earth, kind of says, whoa, 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 whoa. Let's keep it simple. Let's keep it real. And Jonah's like, yeah. But yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. It's a beautiful, loving, you know, caring, supportive energy with the two of you. And Gemini is a mutable sign. Virgo is a mutable sign. So you both have that in common. Mutable mean you're very adaptable. You're very accepting of change. You like change. You like adventure. You like new things, you know. You don't like to be confined too much, Gemini. I think you, out of the two, of course, are one that would like to actually see change. And I mean, it's not like you go from place to place and you're, you know, senseless. You might as a youthful person, and you're just checking life out, right? We all have different phases in our life. But more importantly, it's just maybe you just want to see, because you like experimenting and just being open to so many different things. You love to travel. You love to be, you know, and connect with people. It's the main thing with you. You're an amazing archetype known as the teacher. You love to express yourself and really convince and persuade others to understand what you're saying. And as far as teachers, you know, when you're in a certain subject, you want to have them understand the ins and outs and the reasons for it, so that it makes it easier and more fun to learn and to absorb. And that's what you are so excellent at. Like, I've known so many Geminis that I've just had the most amazing conversations, because they know a lot about everything. They love to absorb information. They are ruled by Mercury. So is Virgo. So it's just this really very simpatico kind of energy, and yet very different at the same time. Mercury is the planet that has to do with our thoughts, once again, our intelligence. Virgo is known as an incredibly intelligent sign as well. They're always trying to improve themselves, their careers, you know, always there to help people. Very, very, you know, just pure of heart, wanting to be of service, very well planned, organized, sometimes very meticulous about things. Detail is important to Virgos, not so much to you, Gemini. That's where it's wonderful. Let's say you two have a business and it's not romantic at all. You want the thinker and the person who's great at expressing, who likes to be out and about and, can be great at networking and that sort of thing. You got the Virgo who's more business-minded, more practical, more let's not go crazy with our budget. Let's keep it in line. Let's make sure we keep our schedules and our timelines proper. See how this works? You just work really, really well together. And it's a good fit. So right now, we actually are finishing the season of Pisces. And this is affecting all of us, as every season does. And that's why I read the sun signs. That's usually where you'll find your horoscopes. It's known as the tropical, horoscope for the sun sign specifically, which is one planet out of the 12 we have from the moment we're born, and our horoscope is there. It's our I want to say destiny, but that's would be your rising, your part of it, or your ascendant. Either way, the sun sign is the day you're born, the month you're born, the season, and every single year around your birthday and on your birthday, you have your solar return where the sun comes back to the exact position from the day you were born. The sun is the most brightest star in our universe. It gives us that illumination. It gives us the vitality. It starts us off with ambition and ideas and ego. And I want to see this. I want to be this. I want to do that. I want to hang out with this person and not with that person. And, that's what the sun is about. And then all the other planets have their own specific needs and understanding of, different parts of our bodies and our minds and our soul and so forth. So it's an amazing study. I mean, you can never learn enough, which is why I love it as well. And I think it'd be something that I know, certainly Virgos and definitely Geminis, not personally, but any topic that they can just continue to learn from and just continue to grow is something that's very, very interesting to, both signs, but I would say Virgo as well, more particularly. It's just, I don't know. I love this a lot. So it's a good combination. And I'm going to read to you what the messages were. And the first category is always the overall energy that brought you to this reading for today. And if you haven't got a chance or you're interested at all and you want to continue to watch this channel or, more readings, I always like to suggest you go to the beginning of the month and see what that reading was about. It's going to be a different highlighted because I don't do the same highlighted connections from the beginning and the mid-months. But it does have, like I said, all connections in regards to the oracle messages. And it could be spot on with the highlight, I don't know. And just know that for today, as things are moving forward, you had, for the overall energy and this connection, it was the King of Pentacles. So that's very appropriate for the moon having been in Taurus. Taurus is the sign of money. Taurus is a sign of earth and practicality, once again. Amassing wealth in a very structured and surefire, system. Like, why, if it's not broke, why fix it? Not necessarily wanting to change a fixed sign, the Taurus is, but it gives us a chance when we are not an earth sign, and it is the moon, which is a part of ourself, versus the sun. The moon is about our internal workings, our deepest emotions and feelings and how we react to situations in our life and people. And so the moon is very emotional a lot of times when it's in your sign or specific signs that either work with you or maybe not so much. And so with the Taurus, though, I feel like it's always a calming, it's just kind of like, okay, let's get to the heart of it, but let's be relaxed, a little more relaxed about it, and a little bit more serious in a way at the same time, so that we're not, kidding ourselves and we're seeing things as they really are. As I said, the earth signs tend to have the motto of, I'll believe it when I see it. So, and they like to work hard for being able to see the things that they can buy, the material aspect. We're living in a material world, right? I know that's a song, but it's true, and that's why not? Don't just work to work and enjoy and see the fruits of your labor is what basically it's saying too. So the two of you have this incredible connection as far as just feeling this maturity about the practical parts of your life, And also the two of you can, like the Gemini could have Virgo or Earth planets in their chart, which would keep them grounded, and also another reason they would be attracted to an earth sign. And I think that makes sense, right? Because yeah, if you have similar planets with each other, there's going to be that drive and that pull, as well as the oppositions. So yeah, things are good. You're feeling like you're living comfortably. You're making enough right now. You definitely care about others. You share your wealth with others. You're really supporting each other. I think there's always power in numbers as far as if you have a relationship, a friendship, a business partner, and you both put together, money, it's always easier, or not always, but it definitely helps, right? Rather than just by yourself. There's a real beautiful feeling, like I said, of this maturity of knowing I work for what I do, I deserve what I have, and I'm feeling really good about it right now. And it feels stable, it feels secure. And I see the new moon kind of going into the phase of the full moon in the background. Well, the new moon in Pisces last week, it's still being felt. And it will for a couple weeks and onward. It was about newness as far as imagination and creating these things. Anytime you have a new moon, you have the beautiful energy of starting some beginnings, writing the intentions about what you want to see, planting the seeds. We're literally two days from, 2 days from spring. So, I mean, there's spring flowers to be. And when you plant the seeds, within your heart of hearts, they're going to grow. And that's what we do with the intentions that mean so much to us. Our relationships that mean so much. Where do you want to see it go? What level do you want to bring it to? That's the kind of mature conversations I feel are happening with this beautiful highlighted connection. And it's good. And then you move on to the second category, which was the possible blessings or obstacles. And then you have the Page of Pentacles. The Page is about messages. Any nights like that, Page and certainly the Knights, I meant to say any court cards is what they're known as in the tarot deck. They're definitely messages. This is a more youthful message. It has to do with younger energy, beginning kind of green, literally, and figuratively, in regards to an idea that would be beneficial financially, or the stability aspect of things once again. So you've got 2 Pentacle cards for the two of you. So something's coming up. Maybe a new job, but I always say, and I said yesterday a couple times, it could be about a child. It could be about discussions and going to the next level because you're feeling really stable. You're feeling good about this relationship. It's very mature and rich, and it has all the components it's needing. You're not wanting really. And so it feels like it's time for this discussion. And by the way, Piscean energy and season, along with a fair amount of the other Piscean planets right now being in Pisces, like Venus, Neptune, imagination, creativity, unexpected, kind of wonderful things. All planets are forward right now. Could have to do with wanting children. Very fertile energy. Okay, so I know a lot of you, there's a good percentage of you that are either about to have a child. Congratulations. You may want to adopt. I don't know, but it's definitely catering to children. You may be definitely pooling your money together to send your child to a better school, or, many things having to do to help create that beautiful family loving kind of feeling. And also, you could be involved with somebody that's younger, or their energy's younger. They just have that youthful kind of energy. And by all means, and I know you can appreciate this, Gemini, having that childlike part of you come out whenever possible, and having fun and laughing as much as possible. We've all been through some pretty traumatic and major changes. And I found myself, I was way too serious, and I even think right now I'm still a little too serious. I want to laugh more. I laughed way more when I was younger, and even a couple years ago. So I purposely turned things on to make me laugh on TV. And, fake it till you make it. And it actually heals your body. I mean, you can feel when your stomach hurts from laughing so hard. That's so great for your abs. It's a physical, honest truth that they've studied, and recognize that people can really actually heal themselves from laughing. So that's what it's bringing up too. It could be many variables on, depending on your circumstance, but they're all talking about messages regarding money. So money is coming through. You're going to be very, very stable, and perhaps I would even go so far as to say very abundant with money and the things that matter, your material world. And your health, for heaven's sakes, that's absolutely included when it comes to the physical aspect, because we are physical beings, right? A spirit in a physical body. So always tending to that, whatever that may mean. I'm not a doctor. I'm just saying, you know, these are all, it's a holistic look at things. So there's that. And then you had the third category, which is always finances, and that's definitely money, of course. But once again, it has to do with everything you consider to be wealth, your well-being, your happiness, your relationships, your job, your family, your children, your animals, what have you, your gardens. I just repotted a plant. Yeah, but you have the Six of Cups, and it's just such a beautiful, uplifting, happy energy card. It has to do with our emotions. Pisces are extremely emotional. So if you've been feeling more emotional during Pisces season, that's a very good reason that could be happening. Or you could have water in your chart, as I do, and you're very sensitive. You know, Pisceans are very wise. They're very sensitive. They're psychic. They're empaths, as they call them. They feel people's pain and they take on the energy a lot of times, and they have to be very aware and careful about that so that they don't become sick and burdened. They're selfless, they're caring. Love is like number one to many of us, but definitely to Pisces. So if you've been feeling that way and really warm and just feeling emotionally satisfied and happy, and this card could reveal somebody coming from your past, certainly sentimentality of the two of you and where you've come through to this point comes up. It's a blessed, beautiful, divinely guided and beautiful timing kind of card is how I look at this. And that's what your messages were yesterday, and I just didn't want to let that go. Because it's still definitely happening today, and it could be happening in a week, and you could say, MaryAnne, I don't feel any of that. And I know that happens, but you might still feel it. So I just like to bring the messages as they come. You know, working in tandem with spirit is what I do, and I love it. And we'll do it as long as I can, and hopefully be able to upload this for you today. So we're going to finish with the oracles, though, and we're going to pick the new ones. They're all beautiful, so there's no, you know, right or wrong when it comes to messages that can help us in any way. And the first one is the Wisdom of the Oracle by Colette Baron Reid. Kind of self-explanatory, just the wisdom of the Hidden Realms by Colette Baron. I know I've forgotten a piece of that. The hidden realms, the mysteries of life that are so ever-present, but because we can't see it doesn't mean it's not existing. And that's been shown time and time again, so you know what I mean. Anybody generally watching my channel understands this one fell out. And the message is the Altar Princess. Okay, kind of makes me think of an altar in a, you know, marriage setup, but oh, preparation, prayer, sacred ritual. Of course it could be marriage. There's a percentage of you out there that are getting married. You are making the commitment. You know, you've got this new maybe feeling of security that, yeah, we're gonna buy that house together. We're going to have a child. We can do this now. The worst is behind us. And that's what you want to think and believe, because I believe that. If you made it through, you can do anything. So let me read to you what it says. It's number 39. That's a 12. That becomes 3. 3 is about progression. It's about perfecting what you do and what you offer this world. And it's about help in the process. So I love that a lot. Look at this, and there's a star. I'll be darned, right in the center. Well, the star represents the sign of Aquarius, and that's predominant energy, and will be air energy for hundreds of years now, versus the earth energy we just passed through. It's like a huge vortex of a new time. Mind, information, connection, trust, truth, you know, justice. You know a lot of that's happening in real time. Can't make it up. Let me read to you what it says, though. And I love all the insights that, you know, a lot of us know, but we just have to be reminded at times, right? You're like, my gosh, I was just thinking about that the other day. But if that is the case, then you definitely are in the right place at this reading, because that's a synchronicity you don't want to overlook. And there's a lot of them happening right now, especially when you want them. So the stage is set, and the world is waiting for you to take your place in sacred meditation and prayer. As your ally, the Altar Princess brings the ritual of reverent interaction with the mundane world. You're being required now to see everything as sacred. All of life is a meditation, and every action as a prayer of devotion. Ooh, that gives me goosebumps. I was very religious growing up, and now I'm basically all spiritual. And I don't mind at all that I had that foundation, but there were a lot of altars, and there was a lot of, feeling of sacred, and now it's a lot of meditation for me. So whatever works, right? When you're able to perceive the world in this way, your questions will lead you to the appropriate answer. If all is sacred, how can anyone be wrong? Ask yourself ask how you can shift your consciousness to see your circumstances through the eyes of the divine, and you will realize how perfect and sacred everything is right now. And I absolutely love that. Once again, something just to remind us of things we've no doubt thought about or feel or realize, but I love reading because it brings me right back to that place, and that's a good place to be. And it feels calm. And you need calm sometimes, Gemini. I'm being honest with you now. That energy gets to a point, you're in your mind so much. It's like, please bring me that grounded feeling, right? Let me get into nature, because you love nature. You love a lot of things. You're a very strongly love-oriented person, with a lot on your mind a lot of times, but you can work at that, right? And it's serious, it's really true. So I hope that rings true for you. And the next beautiful oracle is the Psychic for the Heart Tarot Oracle by John Holland. And it's pretty self-explanatory. So I'm going to pick the one for you, Geminis, and every one of your love connections, and hope that this feels and spurs something in you and says, yeah, this is for me. This is absolutely for me. Embrace. Wow. 21, there's another 3. And we're in the 3rd month. That's 333, 369, the perfect, triad of everything. It's just very, very, I love it when Spirit does this and makes things so congruent with each other, and it works so beautifully. And it's a beautiful, beautiful card. So embrace. Look at that. At meditation time, just allow and just, it's such a huge world with so much. And every moment is precious, boy. So I'll read to you quickly what that says as well. And I'm going to step up real quick to see if it's videotaping. Forgive me. Oops, I should have gone around this way. Just to make sure. Oh my gosh, it is. I'm so happy. Thank you for that. Obviously, this is what you see, what you get. I don't script anything. That's probably clear. And then also, just the reality that I don't... it's a major arcana. I don't really edit that much. I'm just trying to be real, and I don't have a lot of equipment, and I just do this because it's coming from my heart. Embrace says archive, welcome, appreciate dreams, wholeness, and contentment. When it comes to love, the universe is smiling upon you at this time. Energies are moving and shifting, coming together to give you exactly what you need and want. Whew, I love that feeling for you. Your efforts to clarify your heart's desires, to be present in current relationships, and to actively manifest new relationships are now bearing fruit. Maybe they're fruit. I don't know. Maybe you want fruit. In this moment, you are in a position to achieve all that you have dreamed of regarding matters of the heart. Your dreams are ready to manifest. Yes! And that's the opening. Like I said, there's so many openings, and they're ready for us, and we never have to do anything that we don't really want to do. It's always free choice. I always make that really clear about my readings. But with these energies, sometimes I feel like it's like the wave, you get that surfboard and you just go with the wave, and you just go with it, and it's backing you and supporting you and pushing you, and it's just so wonderful. And you're not climbing upstream or, like the salmon do, which is important too. That's a whole different topic. You know what I'm saying. Anyway, we're going to finish with your super attractor manifestation message, your ability to feel and truly create the life you want, the circumstances, the manifestations you want at every given moment, because we're doing it whether we know it or not. I prefer to know how I'm manifesting and put the wording out there in a way that's going to really bring it into, fruition. And that's what these are trying to share with us and guide, and they do a great job. So it's a saying, and it's a beautiful picture. So I like to say you can take a snapshot and just think about it over and over during the day, and your energy will automatically change. And what you're putting out is what you come back when received. That's the law of attraction. Wow, I haven't gotten this one in a very long time. different than yesterday. So these are important ones for today. I'm glad I did this. I am kind and loving towards others while creating clear boundaries. So important, right? That protect my good feeling emotions. Oh, that's spot on, boy. I can get very affected by other people's emotions, and it's about the boundaries, right? I'm still working on that one though, because I still really do feel other people's emotions and then I get affected. So I really want to take this with you, Gemini. And I'm not a Gemini. Everybody can use the information. Like I said, these readings are for everybody. How beautiful for you. And look at that new moon. You can really make this intention, which you may have already, and I always recommend you do the day of the full moon, or the new moon, or full moons. We got our next full moon will be on the 28th of March. It's going to be in Libra, your sister, brother, air sign as well, Gemini. Very potent, very much about relationships. Libras are all about relationships. It's key to them. And, you know, the compromise, the fairness, the justice, the balance. Wow. I'm hoping that you will enjoy this reading and that you're feeling it right now. And if not, like I said, give it some time. And thank you for taking the time. If you do feel inclined, do please like, share, subscribe, push the notification bell, because I never know exactly with me working now when I'll be making these. Some days they do get uploaded. Some days the universe just doesn't want it. Okay, we'll leave it at that. And I've learned not to fight that. So have a beautiful rest of the day. Enjoy, embrace, and, you know, just thrive as you usually do. Until next time, take good care and bye for now.